Let's go with that one. How's everybody doing? Chris, we are
Hello,
here. I'm Jim,
I'm Chris.
and we are Geeks on Tour, and this is Gabbing with the Geeks. We are in El Salvador, and we have a few things that we're going to be talking about today, and it's good to see you. What do you want?
So we will be having, but is it sound? My sound? How am I sounding? Do people hear me okay? If somebody could say, "Oh, hi, Detlef.
All
Dinner time
right.
in Berlin." Yes.
Okay. Yes, please let us know that you can see and hear us. I think we'll be okay. It's a little bit nerve wracking when we do this from so far away.
Yes.
But
So we are
thanks for
in
joining us.
San Salvador, which is the capital city of El Salvador. We were supposed to be taking a tour of El Salvador and Guatemala and Honduras and
Please.
Belize,
But
but
something happened.
didn't happen.
We both, well, I first was, we tested before we came here. We fully expected that our results would be back before we got on a plane to come to El Salvador. But there were no requirements to get into El Salvador with the results. Now we had to be vaccinated and boosted for our trip, but there was no requirement to have the the test first.
Right. El Salvador did not require a negative COVID test in order to get on an airplane. Most all the other countries that we are going to be visiting did, but since El Salvador didn't,
We got on the plane. Asymptomatic, no issues, nothing
yeah,
really. I've heard that people say it's like a cold or something like that, and uh,
haven't even had a sniffle.
no sniffles, no sore throat, no cough. Anyhow, I did notice I have the Aura ring, and it is a sleep tracker, activity tracker, and I noticed that my graphs were getting a little skewed. Now this was right after Christmas. We visited my sister family at Christmas, small group, all vaccinated, all anyway. Supposedly we were good to go, but this COVID, the vaccinations don't keep you from getting COVID. They just keep you from getting really, really sick. So I'm confident that having the vaccinations and the boost and all of that are the reason that I didn't have any of the
That
symptoms.
we aren't sick. Yeah.
Right. And so we got here, and finally the results arrived on the phone saying Jim's positive, Chris is negative. So we told the trip leader right away that happened, and so they decided to bring us back to San Salvador, the capital, where they could make sure that we
The
were going to
big
be okay.
city.
The big city, right? And but anyway, we've been here for a full week. Still no symptoms, but we've tested again when we got here, and both of us were positive. Bummer. And so, okay, we need to isolate. And that's not a problem. We're RVers. We're used to living together very
In a small
closely in a
space.
small space. But it was just crazy. We just didn't know what was going to happen. And everything that you read says, no symptoms, you're good so many days after testing. So,
So
okay.
Detlef asks,
Did
did
you
you
get
get the results from before you left Miami?
No, if we had, it would have been wonderful. We could,
No, we did get them, but after we were here, we got them. That's what happened.
right.
We took the test in Florida 3 days before our flight.
And they said 2 days would be normal for results. So, okay.
As of 3 days, we still didn't have the results.
But
So
I was positive.
we got on the plane. After we got to our first hotel, we got the text that the results were in and he was positive.
So we did whatever they decided to do, and we were hoping. We got here a little bit early. We wanted to do a pre-trip. This whole thing is overseas adventure travel trip, and we wanted to be, part of it. But we wanted to get here early and do a little pre-trip just in El Salvador, and then we would get the rest of the group together and leave from here. We were going, and well, they all got tested. They were all fine. Chris tested negative again. I tested positive still. So I'm one of those lucky people who just keeps this stuff in my system. I don't know how long it'll take. But now we need a clean test to get back into the States. We're in El Salvador. We can't go home until we produce.
Well, looky here. Michael Daniels is giving us a donation so we can get a drink on the flight back.
Thank you, Michael. You're so kind.
Oh, there's Carrie.
All right.
And wait just a second. Here's just one last question. Alex Siegel, our mutual friend with Carrie, asks, will you still go on a tour? No, we are now just waiting to get a negative test to get a flight back home.
Now we will do this trip sometime in the future.
This one of the few times I ever got trip insurance. I don't generally get trip insurance, but I did for this trip. So we'll just have to come again sometime.
Okay.
Before, do you want to just bring him on and just make sure that just do a sound check?
Okay. Cary.
Yeah, you're here. Okay, I'm here. Yeah. Well, I don't know. We could, like I said, but not right this minute.
Okay, he's talking to somebody else. So we're going to put Carrie back in the background and just give you a little introduction. The reason that we're bringing Carrie on is that he had a life-threatening experience with COVID. We're just having an inconvenience. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Carrie, and then we'll bring him on. Carrie is a musician. I have seen him get so lost in playing his guitar that he's completely unaware of people around him. He's really good.
I got a good video with him doing that one time.
Yeah. He is a writer. He's written several books, and he is most known for his advice column that was on salon.com for 13 years, I think.
He'll tell us about that.
And now it's on his own website. Let me show you his website just to CaryTennis.com if you want to find out more about him, read some of his wonderful articles and advice, and listen to his podcast, CaryTennis.com. Now, he lives in Italy now, but how do I take me off?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I guess I should ask that first. Why do I know Carrie? Because we were in the same graduating class in high school in Fort Lauderdale, and I have reconnected with him in recent years because of our mutual friend Alex, and I've taken a couple of his writing workshops. I love his writing workshops. I took one when he did it in Florida, and after he moved to Italy, what a great excuse to go to Italy. And that's the picture that's our background here.
Yeah, I can do this. Hang on. There it is. Castiglione Fiorentino. It's a beautiful place.
This is where Carrie lives, that photo that you see there.
Yeah.
And we visited and took the writer's workshop. And it looks like he stepped away. Let's see if there's any other. Yeah.
So Ronnie says when we went to South Caicos, we had to have a negative before we left, so we got our results the next day. Down here, we sat in the car for 3 hours almost to get the test before we left. Testing is just crazy, especially, all over, I guess, but where we were specifically. And they said that the test results would be back, so we trusted it. Don't do that. Down here, we can get a PCR test and the results will be back in
Same day.
4 hours. And the antigen test, you can get results in an hour. Now, it does cost money. It's $95 for the PCR, and I think 25 or 30 for the antigen test. But you get the results. And that's the important thing. If you don't get the results for several days, what good is testing? That's my thought.
But if we had been flying into Guatemala, we would not have been able to board the plane without the negative test. El Salvador is first of all, it's a very small country, and they've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
With their COVID. They have a higher percent vaccination rate than the US by a little bit. And their death rate is negligible. So they're not as concerned. Now, if they got a bunch of us Americans coming in testing positive, I don't know if they're going to change, but this is certainly affecting all of us, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is. Walter says, I told you you'd find a way to make lemonade. Well, I don't know if this is lemonade or not, but we'll see.
All right. And
yeah, cool. Judy says, sorry to miss today's show. Actually going for her own PCR test to be proactive before going to quartzsite. Very wise. So you're masked, but if there were unvaccinated folks at the Christmas party, and so you gotta be careful. And this Omicron variant is so much more contagious than anything that's happened before, even though the other ones were very contagious. But I was looking at the chart, the graph of infections, reported infections in Florida, and it's just a straight line, straight up. Crazy. Now, hospitalizations and problems, deaths happen several days, weeks down the road. So there's in Florida, I'm seeing reports that, they're all happy because nobody's dying from it or the death rate is way down. Well, it might take a little bit of time. Hopefully, they're right. It's not going to be as deadly as the earlier variants, the Delta. And we're just hoping for the best, right?
Yeah, just one more. If you want all the details of what our experience has been, show my screen. I've been writing about it on our blog. So that's geeksontour.blogspot.com. And all the detail is on here. And somebody says that they've traveled through this area before. And yes, here are pictures when I was here in 1962. And I was so looking forward to visiting these same spots again. But it's not going to happen now. All right. But so here is all of the details since we left Florida on our blog. All right. Looks like Carrie is back. Want to bring him on?
You ready to go? Nod. Hey, Carrie, how are you, sir?
Hey, good.
And how are things in Italy?
Rainy. It's rainy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, please tell Norma we said hi. I hope she's there somewhere.
She was just here.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Carrie's wife, lovely woman.
So, is it just us three? How's this thing work?
It's just us three, but we
three.
are live to YouTube.
But I saw. Oh, we're live to YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
We are live to YouTube and to Facebook
At the same time.
So we're getting comments. And Alex has already said hello. Wade in, Alex Siegel.
Yeah, I saw it, but Alex isn't here. She's just texting with you.
Right. No, she's on YouTube.
She's
leaving
she's watching
comments on YouTube.
If I go to YouTube, can I see us?
Yes, but be careful because then you'll get echo.
Yeah, and this will be recorded, so we can go back and watch it later. This is something that we do on a regular basis. This StreamYard technology is really cool, Carrie. I think you might be interested in using it sometimes, and you can also do podcasts with it. So that'll go into your own thing.
Jim needs Alex. Some
Can't-
people are saying they can't hear Carrie, but
Speak
we
up.
hear him.
Speak up, Carrie. We can hear you fine.
Yeah, is this any better?
That sounds better, yes, to me. A little louder.
Okay.
So how do I find you guys on YouTube?
We sent you the Geeks on Tour. If you just go to YouTube, search for Geeks on Tour. It'll be there.
Yeah, but you don't need to do that right now. You just have to be here with us. Everyone else is watching live.
And we have, Detlef says better. Okay. So we have one viewer. His name is Detlef, and he is not too far from you. He's in the same time zone in Berlin.
Yeah.
And then most people are from the States that are watching. So
Okay. Well,
you
we'll
didn't
just
hear-
hang out.
Yeah, you didn't hear a whole lot of our story because you weren't ready yet, but you know that we are in El Salvador right now.
Yeah. And you're in quarantine, right?
Right. We're supposed to be touring through the country and into Guatemala and Honduras, but we got a positive COVID test. And then we got another positive COVID test. So we had to cancel the whole thing. And now we are just waiting for a negative COVID test because we cannot board a plane back to the US without it.
Right.
But we have been perfectly healthy, so this is just an inconvenience to us.
Yeah.
But as we get affected and talk to more people, I thought of you. I know you told the story a lot, but could you tell the story one more time for our viewers about your
What
experience with COVID?
Well, I mean, I could point you to some articles and some podcasts and stuff. It's a long story. But we're having a workshop here in May, and I was just talking with some people in the online workshop about current restrictions. And if for Italy, I just would point people to the news organization, the local.it or the local.it. The local.it. They have the most up-to-date news about travel and COVID restrictions and the ongoing pandemic. Italy is changing its rules, and our region is becoming a little more restrictive, but not significantly so. I mean, we wear masks outdoors. There is no curfew currently, though there was last time. The main thing that's happening here in our town, Castiglione Fiorentino, is that Omicron is spreading so rapidly that people in stores and restaurants are testing positive and then closing their restaurants or their stores. So a lot of stuff is closed, but it's mostly due to people testing positive and then voluntarily, closing. I myself, I went through hell, but I'm feeling good and I'm back, and I'm just living every day, happy to be alive now.
And we're glad you're here too.
Yeah.
This writer's workshop that is coming up in May.
Yeah.
Chris really wants to go.
Yeah.
And
you can.
Yeah, but we already have another trip planned and paid for. So we're just,
But given our experience so far, that one might cancel. In which case, do you still have room in the?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah,
So
there's going to be room, and I'm going to meet with the people at Le Santuce this week to nail down the time, because the Tanganelli family has taken over a few of the places, you know, it's this compound, as you know. And as Tanganelli families grow larger, they've
That is the
taken
owner of the La
more room.
Santucci where we stayed for your
Yeah,
workshop?
yeah.
Okay.
But
Wonderful people.
you know,
Yeah.
there'll be room, and it's going to happen, and we're, you know, watching daily, like how like I was just in this other workshop, and two people from that workshop are coming, and they were asking, what about taking trains? What about flights? And it's, it's a fluid situation. I mean, as you well know, I mean, you're right in the middle of this fluid situation. Nothing can be for sure, but still, you've got to live your life and make plans and do what you're going to do.
Okay. People are asking, and I agree, I'd like to show them where they can find the podcast of your COVID experience. So let me show them in general just where your website is, and then if you could guide me through. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen. All you have to do to get here is this is carytennis.com. And I assume it would be under the podcast menu, Cary?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how far back do I have to go for it's probably a ways, yes? Can I search?
Yeah, no, load more.
Or is it under a category?
No, go up just a teeny bit.
Okay.
Okay, where it says load more, because I know it'll come up. At least I think it will.
And if you notice something there.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay. I cry for my country.
That's one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
And I cry for my country. And then the other one, the post-COVID-19 acute renal failure, happy kidneys diet. Well, that's one of the pieces. And go ahead and search if you want to search.
Just search for COVID.
Can I also?
So just right here, search for COVID, or is there another word that will find the? All right, because it is quite a moving piece. Cary, I mean, you almost died.
Yeah. yeah. Whoops.
I'm glad you can laugh about it now.
Yeah. Well,
there we go.
I can because
okay, this is the main one, yes? The psychedelic madness of COVID-19.
Yeah, that is the main one, and that's on David Talbot's site, the founder of Salon. Yeah, that's the main narrative. That's not a podcast. That's
okay. Right? Well, I'll put this link.
Yeah.
In our.
That's the awesome total thing.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you nearly died, and you were in Italy. And how long were you in an Italian hospital?
For 5 weeks.
Wow. I would think the hardest part, I mean, other than almost being dead, was not being able to understand the doctors. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, in addition to being so sick, you don't know what's going on. You're alone.
Yeah. I think that's why I had the psychotic break, was just totally isolated and, kind of waking up. I mean, it was a cascading series of events. It wasn't just COVID. It was having a rare intestinal disorder called intussusception, where two pieces of the intestine sort of telescope in on each other, and it's rare, especially in adults. But so there was emergency surgery. So
Oh,
when I woke up from surgery, I didn't really know where I was or what was happening. So I really did believe that there was some kind of criminal enterprise taking place, and I'd been held hostage, and these other people in the intensive care unit were somehow in on it. And yeah, I went mad. And then when I was home after 5 weeks, oh, and this story will also be on a podcast site called meditativestory.com in a few weeks. I've already written the piece, and I'm waiting for them to contact me to perform it. But yeah, meditativestory.com. That's
okay. Jim is writing that in the chat here.
yeah. So where was I?
That you had the psychotic break.
Right, the psychotic break. And then when I was home finally, and in my own bed after 5 weeks, and for the next few weeks, I would remember things that I thought had happened, and I would realize that that's not a real memory. That's the delusion that I had in the hospital. So I had to untangle these things. Like I knew when I got out of the hospital that I was going to have to buy a lead lined briefcase and put my laptop in it in order to do some of the things I felt I needed to do regarding the internet and this criminal conspiracy. And one time in the ICU, I was lying there in Arezzo, and in this room with this beautiful view of these trees and these hills, and it was the middle of winter, and I thought, well, the SWAT team has got to come soon and get me. And I saw this truck backing up into the space outside the windows, and I thought, there they are. That's the SWAT team. And I waited and I waited, and then I saw they were just bringing food on carts. So that was the extent of, my delusion.
I just can't imagine. But you are feeling good now?
I'm good. I have some post-surgical stuff that I have to have some more surgery, but it's not like I'm sick. It's just they have to repair some hernias that happened as a result of the previous surgery. So that's fine. And the Italian doctors are great. Italian medicine is great. And Italian national health care is great. I'm not paying a cent for any of this, and I'm not afraid I'm going to get some, life-changing bill from, it's just the language thing. That's the toughest thing. And I'm studying Italian, but it's hard. It's really hard. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not good with languages myself.
Yeah.
I keep conflating what I know about French and what I know about Spanish.
We're here in El Salvador, and we say merci.
Oh, merci. Yeah. God damn, you guys. Yeah.
So talk about travel a little bit. Ruth, we did put the link in the chat just a little ways up, or if you just joined. Ruth McCulley is saying hello.
Hey, Ruth.
And
Awesome. Oh, wow.
And asking for a link to the podcast.
Yeah, and Aaron is here.
Aaron, and we say these are all people who we went to high school with, is for the rest of you here wondering what's going on.
Yeah, we know famous people. I didn't go to school with. We went to different schools together.
But at the same time. But yes, Carrie is very famous. You have a Wikipedia page, Carrie.
Yeah, I do. I need to update it now with my madness.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
And Tara Katz is asking, how long have you lived in Italy?
6 years.
So when we were there, we visited you and
17.
took the class in 2017. So that was 4 years ago. You had already been there a couple of years. Yeah. Yes. And we will come back, whether it's this May or not. We will absolutely come. Is there any doubt in your mind? I mean, is Italy home now? Will we ever see you back in the States?
Oh yeah, I mean, I want to travel to the States, definitely. It's just with the situation, you know. Yeah, but Italy, we live here. We sold our house, you know. Where are we gonna go? We have a house here.
Cool.
And Norma originally is from.
Well, her parents were both born in Germany, so she
Sure.
got European citizenship,
Okay.
and that helps us with residency because I'm now permesso di soggiorno di famiglia. I'm in the family of a European citizen, so that
Okay.
helps a little bit.
But you do own your house there, right?
Yeah. We took what we made on the California house and we just bought one here. It's just like a trade.
Cool. Well, so let's talk about travel a little bit. How long since you have traveled? It's been a while.
Before
let's see,
COVID.
I guess I was in the States in 2019 in the summer.
Okay. Yeah, and that same year, 2019, is when we went to New Zealand and Australia, and we haven't. Now, 2020, we were booked on a dive trip to the Indian Ocean, and if it had been scheduled just a few days earlier, we might have gone, and we would have been stuck there because of, it gave us enough time to say, no, we canceled that one. Or we postponed it, and we stayed home the rest of 2020, just absolutely stayed home. 2021, we got right in line to get the vaccinations, and summer of 2021 was fairly normal for us.
No. Okay, listen, I got to go to dinner.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Yeah. What's for dinner?
We're going to Reggio for pizza. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
yeah.
Let's say goodbye to Carrie. Thank you so
workshop
much for joining us.
This is totally cool. Yeah, I could see you doing this. Let's do it when I have more time.
Yeah.
Totally.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a spur of the moment thought.
Are you kidding? It's a delight.
Okay.
And it's wonderful
It's
seeing
great
you.
to see you. My God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
if
good.
not May, some other time, but
yeah. And if people have other questions or whatever, I can answer them offline or later.
CaryTennis.com.
Yeah. Okay. Ciao. That was awesome.
Ciao.
All right.
Great seeing you, man.
Bon appetit.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
How do I leave? Do I leave or do you kick me
You
out?
can go ahead and leave. That would be fine.
There's a leave studio button down at the bottom.
Stop. Exit. No, that's just exit full screen.
Leave studio. There's a red X.
Okay. Ciao. I'm leaving the studio.
Ciao.
Ciao. Wow, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
He is looking good. That just makes me feel, man, when he was sick and I was reading all about this stuff, it was scary.
Very scary.
So yeah, we're good with that.
Very scary.
And, yeah.
But do read his stories. Let me put the link in there again, just to.
I got this link here, right? Is that the same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's in the chat, and you can go back and reference that whenever you would like. There's another question up here. Oh, Chuck Parker wanted to know if we have confidence in their test results. And do you have any choice offered for a different facility for a second opinion? We do trust them.
But who knows?
Yeah, you don't. Do you trust the ones that you're getting over there? I don't trust that they can give you the results in a timely manner in most cases, especially for the free tests. There are places where you can go and pay extra money to get supposedly faster results. But the testing is pretty much universal as far as I understand. And we have confidence. It's just that, this kind of stuff happens. So
in my opinion, we have no choice.
Yeah.
We have no choice but to trust the test. Now, that said, we obviously have been doing a lot of reading, And the PCR test, which is supposed to be the most accurate, is also the most thorough, if you will. So
Yeah.
the PCR test will find COVID no matter how little and how buried it is in your system.
Yeah, even if you're done with any symptoms, even if you did have symptoms, some people apparently still are testing positive on a PCR test for weeks or months. That's scary.
That's very scary. So there is another test. It's the antigen test, which my understanding is it will only show positive if your viral load is at a certain level. So meaning if you are really contagious.
Right.
And to get on a plane back to the US, we can show them either a negative PCR test or a negative antigen test. So we're going to take the antigen test tomorrow.
Right. And if all goes well, we'll be on a plane back home as soon as we can. We've kind of given up on trying to have any fun here. So, except for you guys, this is fun.
I haven't completely given up.
Okay.
Cerveza.
Cerveza Suprema.
That's the one word we are clear on.
And I can say dos cerveza.
Dos cerveza, por favor.
And I know how to find the bathroom.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, Carrie will not be able to join us, but if anybody wants to come to our backstage, now I only send the link out to Geeks on Tour members, but since we have some high school friends here, what do you say? I'm thinking about just putting the link in the.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to just put the link to our Zoom meeting, which we will be at in just a few minutes.
Oh, no, you bet.
Into the chat. We can delete it later.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure.
Or change it. I was thinking of changing it for this year anyway.
Okay.
All right. So I am
That just means I have to pay more attention. Okay, here's something else. Oh, Ruth, no, we don't have any symptoms. Did not have any symptoms.
Feel fine.
Yeah. It's kind of scary. Now, the week before we left, I didn't have any COVID symptoms, but I did have some slight discomfort. But I had taken a CT scan with an infusion where they give you an IV. And after that, I'm told, or I've read since, that you can have some cold-like effects, but nothing that would really register, maybe a little bit of sniffle but my Aura ring did notice that I had an elevated temperature, and what they call a readiness graph. It's very interesting, and it uses a bunch of stuff that the ring will record, and it went way down. So I had a dip in that and a rise in my temperature, and it on the graph that this showed. And I've since read several other people are having very similar, and they posted on.
Yeah, I want a
on a group.
screenshot of that for our
Okay.
album.
All right. Well, it's in our photo album actually. So yeah.
Okay.
So Detlef says the antigen test only shows you've had contact with the virus and have developed antibodies. That's true.
Well, that's what I first understood, but it seems like there's a little more to it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Richard says, I've heard the test can confuse between the flu and COVID. That's not true. The PCR test tests for the antibodies for the COVID. It does not do the flu. Now you can get a flu test, and a lot of people are now even having this flu vid or flu anyway. But no, the tests don't confuse it. Sorry. Yeah. June says she did the PCRs both times and doesn't show if you have a current viral load. That's true. So you can still test positive with a PCR test and be completely non-contagious, or you're not going to, it's gone, except your system still shows, because it's so sensitive, still shows remnants is what I hear. Aaron's leaving us. Goodbye.
Hey.
Thanks for coming.
Well, then, if Carrie can't join us, do people mind if we skip the backstage?
Well, let's go back and say hi. And yeah, I don't care. All right, we're gonna take a poll right now. Does anyone mind if we don't come back? Robin says hi.
Yeah,
She's glad
she said
to hear.
she can't stay for
Yeah,
Zoom.
okay. So we're not going to do a Zoom. We're just going to open a bottle of champagne, which we do after every show. Tara says she's sorry we missed our tour. So are we.
Ooh, Morocco. End of March. Well, I hope.
All right. And Jerry says can't stay for the Zoom meeting anyway.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, we're not going to do a Zoom.
We're not going to do a Zoom.
She lied.
This is it.
If
Just wanted to say hi to everybody.
yeah, and wanted
Carrie.
to do this, and we wanted to talk to Carrie, and I think we've done enough here today. Okay, so it's good to see all of you, and
assuming we're home, maybe we'll do a regular show next Sunday.
It's good to be seen, right? And go back, check out our.
Stay safe. Get vaccinated if you haven't. That's the only way we're going to get over this.
The only way. And I don't care if you've had it, and just get vaccinated and boosted. That's what will keep you safer than anything else. Where are we staying? We are staying in Hotel Barcelo in San Salvador. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And we have room service, and we will be fine. Don't worry. Thank you, Debbie. I love you. My sister. Okay.
So yes, check out our blog, geeksontour.blog, and you'll find out anything that we forgot to mention.
Okay.
Are you able to go out at all? Oh, well, yeah. No. I went out to a local artisans market and bought this blouse.
It's beautiful.
I love it. Yeah,
El
I
Salvador.
love it.
So,
but that's that was like a walk around the block and back here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, y'all, how many have it in your hotel? No idea. They don't tell us.
The numbers for El Salvador are very low. We follow the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, and he tweeted about 1,000-bed special COVID hospital. It's empty. He's showing empty video or empty wards. Yeah. He's sure also addicted. Yeah. But yeah, we'll all be there. But they are doing pretty good here. They are doing good. So see you next time. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay well, and get vaccinated. Bye-bye.